Hello, hello, welcome on our channel. We have a little bit of an announcement to make today, tonight actually. Nothing major, nothing groundbreaking. It's just something that hopefully will bring a little bit more structure to what we do. We came to an agreement that we will be posting new videos every Saturday. Hopefully you will like it as well. But more importantly, I will have something to look forward to. I'm not sure how about you, my week was extremely busy, horrendously stressful, and honestly, I could not wait to just sit down and put myself into Tool and just flow with the song. So, before we start, I wanted to say a few words about Swamp Song and Crawl Away that we listened to last time. In particular, I wanted to mention one specific interpretation. You know, both of the songs, been quite intuitive in a sense that you could pick up quite easily the reference to this hardship of an abusive relationship. I didn't think about this at the time when I firstly listened to the song, but I actually had a little bit of thought about this afterwards, and it also came up in the comments as well. In particular, other than reference to the relationship you may have with your abusive parents or your guardians or obviously your other half, the song can be about the relationship you actually have with yourself. So that's quite a strong and really interesting interpretation when you think about it, you know. It's like, again, there is this reference to this dialogue with yourself and kind of recognition of your own destructive self. So really, really interesting one. But yeah, that would be it really. Would you like to add anything before we start?
I think maybe just one thing that, so we obviously listened to those two songs a couple more times after we recorded the last video, even just when editing the material before submitting it to YouTube. And I think for both of us that those songs grew up on us, like we liked them more and more.
Yeah, I think that's the case with every single video that we're making. Yeah. That's kind of a common theme I found out. I think tonight we're gonna stick to two songs as well. I think we may stick to it. I
mean, depends. Sometimes songs can be like 15 minutes. So,
yeah,
you know.
Yeah. As long as they're around 5 minutes or so, I kind of feel like I've grown into listening more than one at once. I can take this burden, I guess. Maybe that's not the perfect word, but yeah, I kind of like the way it goes. So yeah, shall we keep going then?
Yeah, so today we have actually the title song from the Undertow album. So Undertow.
Yes.
I think you said you were looking forward for this one.
Yeah.
And then another song after this one is 4 Degrees, I think. That's how we should say it.
Yeah, okay.
So interesting titles, definitely. Yeah?
Let's do it.
Do you have lyrics? Do you have any? Or you want to try without lyrics this time? I don't know. Because someone mentioned this in the comment, actually.
Okay, we had to do a little pause here. I basically had to jump to another room just to pick up the lyrics. Some of you like it, others not so much, but I just feel spiritually safer with lyrics at hand. So yes, I'm really prepared now. So yeah, let's do it. Firstly Undertow, then 4 Degrees, yeah?
Yep.
Okay. Ready?
Okay.
I like this part. That was really, really deep, wasn't it? I think I'm gonna have a lot to say.
Yeah, the title itself is...
Lovely. Shall we just do another one though?
So, 4 degrees.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Really, really deep.
Okay, ready? Ready?
I really don't want this one to finish, you know. Oh, I really enjoyed this one.
Second one more than first one? Yeah.
I don't know what will be your opinions on that, but I think that this may be my next favorite one by Tool.
Really? What exactly did you like about
The
it?
musically, I just like, I felt like I'm part of it, you know?
Okay. I really love the drums. The drums were in the second one were very, I don't know how to say that, deep, or like they surrounded you when you were in
that
headphones.
sense.
I
Well-
really liked that part.
You know what? Interestingly, in both of the songs, been completely different on the musical level, you know, and his voice was completely different on both of them. Is this how you felt? Because that's how I felt.
Yeah.
I just absolutely loved the way his voice sounded throughout this whole song. It's just
In the second one, you prefer?
yeah,
Okay.
and 4 degrees. Nonetheless, Undertow was really interesting and had loads of inside it, if that makes
You
sense.
mean in lyrics, or?
In lyrics, yes. There was a lot in the song, I feel. Is it the other way around with you?
No, not really. I definitely enjoyed musically more the 4 degrees musically, but I found more in the lyrics of the first one.
Yeah, perhaps. It's just, it's like, I don't know how to even put it into words, you know? It's just the second song, I felt like I'm part of it, you know? It's just, I really enjoyed it. Yeah, yes?
I wonder if it's because you listened to it as the second one, so like you got into the mood
Part of
with the
experience.
first one, yeah.
Maybe, although I felt like such a difference on this musical level. Again, it was completely different emotions in a sense as well. But let's crack on the Undertow first, because they're all the words. Let me just load up the words and the lyrics, because there is quite a Christian reference to it, isn't there? So I
Really?
know a little bit already from the comments that there will be some songs with like really deep Christian references. I picked up on the baptism.
Okay, I really didn't. I mean, I see the lyrics now, but I focused maybe too much on the title itself, the Undertow. So I am kind of thinking about how to relate it to previous songs and addiction and abuse, especially addiction. So I would say like Undertow maybe is about relapse in, getting abusing
Really?
substance again. Because do you know what Undertow means, the word itself?
Well, it is like being taken by the wave.
It is, I think it's actually wave itself, like
Like the wave that
takes you, pulls you away
Yeah.
from the shore,
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
yeah, so again, baptism.
Okay.
So I had that's so interesting. You see, I had completely different feelings. I took this song completely differently. So like when I looked into the lyrics, and the way I felt the song, especially that within the song, you know, even on the musical level, there've been like so many changes. Like it was like so
I see.
different. Each part was so different. So I felt, you know, like this is some part of the ritual. And when I then seen the reference, the actual reference to the baptism, I felt like it's this type of ritual. Again, it's kind of transition of his self throughout this whole experiences that he had previously on the previous songs that we've seen. In here, he's like started embracing his old experiences. So, you know, with the baptism, let's go back to the history of baptism, maybe.
I actually don't know it that much. I don't know even, I can think, but I'm not sure what baptism really symbolizes. I would guess like reborn or born again.
Yeah, so, you know, it has its roots interestingly, it has its roots in the Jewish tradition. In the Hebrew Bible, there is a reference to this process of purification. I'm not an expert on that, so don't quote me on this. But in the New Testament, you know, back at the Jesus times, the baptism was here being purified by water, therefore becoming, in the sense, a new human. So that's how I felt this song. Like he was embracing this all experiences. It was like a catharsis, you know?
Okay.
Like trying to embrace all that he went through and becoming somebody else, like starting to fighting with it. So it's completely different from your experience. Rather than relapse, it's rather getting out of the addiction, getting out of all this, this horrible bubble he was in, that he couldn't get out of.
Interesting, because the last word of the whole song is a word euphoria.
Yeah, so yeah, that's also part of it. And you know, I tried to focus on this euphoria because musically it was so like, I don't want to say weird because it sounds weird as well, but it was so maybe odd in a sense as part of one song. So it's all this kind of different emotions that you get in when you're actually experiencing catharsis, so being reborn.
Speaking to that, to catharsis, there is a verse like half as clear as reason, which kind of, for me, it kind of fits the catharsis theme.
Yeah, it's extremely interesting that we had such a different.
Yeah, like I said, my whole feeling was probably taken away by the title Undertow and the thinking about relapsing into the habit addiction, maybe.
Okay.
That's why I think I viewed the whole song through the lenses of that. So.
Okay. You know what? I think I have to admit to something. Before we made this video, I looked up the meaning of the word undertow itself. I wasn't quite sure what it means. It's not something that you can come across quite commonly. So I wasn't actually sure whether I'm fully aware what this word itself means. And then obviously I literally looked it up on Google. And it was referenced to the wave. So it actually makes sense for me because, you know, back in the Jesus again, when he went to the river of Jordan, he was baptized in the river and he was purified by the water. So that's, you know, and at the end there is this euphoria and then he's been taken by the undertow. So
yeah,
that's like the whole theme I have in my head. Now I'm not sure what to think about this because it may be as well this. It's just... Honestly, that's completely not how I felt it.
Can it be both? Can we relate the relapse in addiction to the baptism? I mean, it might be a long shot. I don't know. I'm just trying to think about something.
Yeah, let me know what you think, because I'm stumbled. Like we had completely different emotions probably when we've been listening to the song as well because of it. But what if, what if you're right in a sense? Because if you deep into the words, I perhaps need to look into it again. But what if this kind of catharsis, this purification feeling that you have during the process, the ritual of baptism, what if this experience of being newborn is something that you can actually realize when you have a relapse? You know, maybe...
I don't know, is baptism only about catharsis and like, does it have anything to do with like primal sin or the original sin actually? Is it to get away of original sin?
I'll look it up now. I'm not, I'm probably a little bit biased as well. I was baptized myself, so I just know this, you know, New Testament theme, but for me it was always more about being reborn. Like, yeah, it has to do with the sin as well, especially when you're, you know, there are different traditions generally speaking in different churches and the way the priests are approaching it, but the one I had was related to the first sin. So, but again, it was you being reborn this way. This has been taken away from you. So that's really interesting, you know. For me, it was all just embracing his own experiences, letting the euphoria take a lead.
There's actually lots of symbolism related.
There must be. It's full of it. So
there's lots of tools I didn't even know about. So there are obviously water, but also oil, candles, dove, as
during the process of during the baptism itself. Yeah.
Flame.
I think it really depends on the actual tradition you have in certain churches. Like in the Roman Catholic, it can look slightly different than from the other churches as well. So it really depends. I know that sometimes there is actual involvement of the big pool of water as well, rather than just a little bit of sprinkling. Which but yeah, it's fascinating, isn't it?
Yeah, to me, it's also like it depends on the tradition, like you said, because I know that in some traditions, I think they don't baptize people until they are more aware. I think they're like, because in some traditions they do it almost to newborns.
Yes. Yes. To tell you a bit more about me, that's the way I had my baptism. So it's actually tradition in my family, and I was baptized as a very little child. Although I learned later on about different types of baptism, and I think I've seen quite a few movies as well where the baptism involved the actual, fully aware human being.
And there's
it can be
also
more
like,
meaningful to the person, I think.
I think there's also like some kind of things like baptized again, like when you want to reconnect with your religion and after you're adult and you do it more as an aware person. Yeah.
Yeah,
There's a lot like
that's so fascinating, isn't it? But yeah, it comes back to the way I took it. I took it as a catharsis, as being reborn and kind of embracing all and just trying, start kind of fresh start in a sense, which brings me to 4 Degrees. That can be also interesting. Now I wonder how you took this song, because I didn't focus much on words, to be honest.
Neither did I.
I loved the song so much from the beginning. I'm not sure if you've noticed, but I almost didn't look at the words. I only looked at a few to pick up the theme. And this song was also much easier for me to pick up without the need for referring to the lyrics, But it kind of reminds me of life is too short philosophy. I don't know if that's the actual philosophy, but that's how I named it. Like, life is too short, so just take what you can, as much as you can get, basically. So for me, it was actually that the process of healing actually started through this baptism. There was so much like hard, difficult things he had to deal with throughout previous songs. Then we have this baptism, the genuine catharsis, like start of a new beginning and start of recovery, some kind of a groundbreaking moment. So that's then how I took the 4 Degrees.
Again, different from me, probably because I took the Undertow differently. So I actually didn't focus on words as much as well, because I really focused this time, because it's not first time I listened to that song, and this time I focused really on the drums. I completely fell in love with drums. I tried to like visualize them and just follow the drums for.
Okay.
But for the meaning itself, so because I took the Undertow as a relapse, this song to me was more like diving deeper into addiction again. Like even like relapse as a previous song was about just trying again the substance, but here it would be like diving deep into the substance again. So like
take it all.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it can be completely different. Yeah, you're right. Kill what you want me. That's also
like
quite interesting sentence, isn't it?
Complete
the opposite.
surrender to the substance, something like that. Yeah.
I see.
And I actually, because I never knew what 4 Degrees means, like what does he mean by that title? I looked a little bit for it, and many people, like no one really knows from what I could gather. Some people say MDMA as a substance, which is I think ecstasy, but I don't know. Basically, they say MDMA is raising your body temperature by 4 degrees, so that might be a meaning of the title, but I don't know, I'm not convinced.
Well, like 4 degrees, I feel like it's significant change that you may actually feel, if that's for degrees of Celsius, for example, or like when you have when you have waves and like Beaufort, what's the scale?
The scale
of the storm.
Yeah.
Can you find it by any chance, just so we could continue with the video and include it? Because you know, it can be still. I may be like completely off on this. It's literally just something that crossed my mind.
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce
Beaufort?
it. Beaufort.
Beaufort, like the storm scale, essentially.
Measure that relates to wind speed relates wind speed to observed conditions at the sea or land.
Yeah, so because you know, like in this scale, I'm pretty sure that like change by 4 is extreme. So it is quite extreme.
4 degrees in that scale is moderate breeze. So small waves becoming longer, fairly frequent white horses of waves. So it's not that.
But I mean, just the change, you know, in the like when you have small breeze, then you go 4 degrees higher. Okay. Is it like extreme change? Again, I may be completely off on that, but
the whole scale is 12, where 12 is hurricane.
Yeah, so that's not that much, is it?
No, so 8 would be moderately
manageable.
High. Yeah.
Exactly. So maybe that's some kind of, you know, extreme change. So, you know, again, life is quite short, so just take it all, despite, you know, changes. That's I'm stunned, honestly, because is it you know, if I can ask you, because obviously you've listened to the song many times before, is it always how you've been thinking about the song?
No, definitely not. Basically I have different, maybe not interpretations, but even different feelings when I am listening to those songs. So no, I can say it's always the same.
Okay.
Like I said, this time I focused really on drums because they picked my interest at the very beginning and I just followed them. So it's more like,
you know, like all the way through the song, it just musically, his voice, he sounded brilliant as well. So I just love the song as a whole. And I really think, I don't think I want to give any score at this time. I think it's sufficient that I always say, pardon. It happens to me in almost every video that I will say that I think this will be my next favorite song now, honestly. But what is more interesting is that we had completely different feelings throughout, and we took the song completely different from like completely two different perspectives, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean,
that's so...
I'm pretty sure it will happen again many more times.
Oh, but it's fascinating. Amazing. Let me know how you feel. What do you think? Because I have a feeling as well that you may have some completely different, again, and like, you know, on the extremes, theories from mine. But I just, you know, it started with Undertow, and I just took it essentially as a baptism, as this way to very first step to recovery, because he's just been a reborn. He's just starting to embrace and comprehending all his experiences and everything he went through, you know. And then for me, 4 degrees, even though, you know, they've been quite negative, words with negative meaning within the song itself. So, such as "kill me" or you know, but despite that, I felt like it's still some kind of take the life as it is, and just, you know, start to recover. It was the groundbreaking moment, you know. Like the start of the process of healing, because the process of healing itself can involve the realization of those negatives as well. So, completely different approach. It may have been that, you know, he went a little bit up, he felt like a new human for a moment, he had this even ecstasy, you know, with euphoria, he had like this completely ritual state of mind, and then he went down again. So you may be completely right.
But now now is another interesting thing. The next song on the album is called Flood.
Flood.
Flood, yeah, as a water flooding things.
Oh.
So, that, yeah.
I think we should stop on this.
Yeah, but yeah, we got only 2 more songs on that album, so
Oh yeah, that's quite sad, but exciting because we're gonna start the next album, which is
Anima, which we already heard, I think, 1 or 2 songs from it.
if you could tell me, it's better for me to be prepared.
H was from Anima.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Did we listen to 40 Push It? Is on Anima as well.
Oh, really?
And 46 and 2, did we do it?
Yeah.
So yeah, 3 songs already.
Oh, but it means that it will be really good if Push It's on there. And 46 and 2 was quite amazing and
And
brilliant
H,
as
I
well.
think you loved H as well.
Oh, so yeah, as sad as I am because the Undertow is ending, we still have something in front of us, and then we have Anima. So yeah, thank you again so much for watching, for all your comments and engagement. What I reminded myself is that I had loads of great tips on how can I expand on the channel on older and different type of albums and artists that I can listen to. So that's something I really want to look into. Obviously the tool comes first at this stage, but thank you so much for this. I take and I read all the recommendations, so let's keep doing what you're doing. You're giving me a lot of joy as well, and thank you so much for watching. I hope you like this one. It was quite interesting for me.
For me as well, yeah.
That's
was,
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for watching.
Thank you.